y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. It is Friday, y'all. It is Friday, Fun Friday. And around here it is a mix of funness. The hubby and I had actually a really nice morning of chattering and talking about what we think about COVID and core values. And we actually haven't had a conversation like that since he's come home. So we were talking today about what's more important, owning more things or making sure that people stay healthy. Where do you put the emphasis on how you live your life during the pandemic? And what's more important? We all like to live in a comfortable house. That's for sure. Comfort's important. We're spending a lot of time at home. Comfort's important. But so is ensuring that people have the basics of what they need. And so he was talking about how today, people are so consumer driven that they're forgetting that right now what our core values need to be our people, and making sure that everyone is safe during this crisis, and not just about having a nicer sofa or a nicer TV or a bigger TV. Most people are worrying about their neighbors and their friends and their community, and if they have enough to eat, if they can keep the lights on. And so we had this really intense but important conversation about what we felt about this, and where our values sit, where our core values sit. And it was great because we haven't had a chat like that in a long time. But it also was appropriate, y'all. I got an email yesterday from a good friend of Deb Hendrick's. And I really appreciated this person reaching out to me. Because Deb has been a subscriber on this channel, y'all, for a really long time. Long before I ever attempted my first shabby project, Deb was super supportive. Even though at the time I was making Maggie Homes, which we all know was about the furthest thing away from what Miss Deb Hendricks makes. But she was really supportive. And when I decided to try shabby for a swap, she was so supportive. She sent me a box of supplies because she knew I didn't have enough to make. And so she sent me a bunch of stuff that she thought would help, and it surely did. And ever since then, she's just been an ongoing support. Now, during COVID, she contracted COVID, y'all. And she didn't want to send me anything because they're not really sure how long the illness lives on things. Sometimes they tell us it's 2 days, sometimes it's 3 days. So Deb didn't want to take any chances. Even though my doctor was confident that if it traveled for 3 days by post and I left it for 3 days, 6 days, and I wiped it down with alcohol, it'd be fine. But she was careful because she values my health, and that means more to me than anything. She values it so much that she didn't want to do anything to jeopardize me. And I was very moved by that. But surely I thought today I'd be showing you the Happy Meal, because now that she's post-COVID and post-symptomatic, she sent me a box of Happy Meal. And I thought today that's what I'd be sharing with you. But instead I got this email yesterday from a good friend of Deb's, letting me know, see, Deb has been not feeling well, y'all. If you follow her channel, you know that she's had, COVID can stretch for 2-3 months, we know that. And so Deb thought she just had this lingering COVID effect. And her doctors put it down to that. She put it down to that. She just figured, okay, it's taken me longer to get over COVID than it took other people. Fair enough. And she didn't really complain much about it, y'all. It's not like she made several videos saying, I'm feeling like a dog's breakfast. A couple of times she said she wasn't feeling great. But really, she sort of kept that struggle to herself. Well, y'all, it wasn't getting any better. So she finally went back to the doctor and said, is this still COVID? I'm still feeling terrible. No, y'all, it's not. This is one of the risks of COVID, y'all. And my doctor says this because I was having a chat with her about the news yesterday. And she said, look, just like with you, Alicia, we ignored other things during COVID because COVID was such a top priority that we didn't go looking for other things. Lisa Pate recently told a similar story. They told her she had COVID. She thought she had COVID. Y'all, she had lung clots. She had blood clots that could have been fatal. But they thought she had COVID because her husband had COVID. Well, we now know that Marcy's family did not contract COVID. Carrie's family did not contract COVID. They were all in the same house. But they just assumed Lisa had COVID. Well, y'all, she didn't have COVID. She had blood clots. And it's the same thing with Miss Deb Hendrick. They just assumed it was COVID taking a real long time, and y'all, it's something much more serious. Now, it's Deb's news to share. I have permission to share it formally and publicly in a little bit, if she chooses not to, because it's hard to talk about these things. But I do have permission to say we need to do a card drive, y'all. There's no question. This is quite serious. And just like with Tammy Green Tea, Deb's going to need our support. It's scary. If it wasn't COVID, it would be terrifying. But with COVID, it's super scary. So I thought I was coming on to share with you this amazing Happy Mail from Deb, but this news takes priority, y'all. And Deb takes priority. Deb takes priority. So I'm gonna ask that we do a card drive of encouragement. Deb loves handmade things. And y'all, lately, y'all, she's been into shakers. That's new, because y'all know she's queen of lace and queen of bling. But she has been into shakers. So if you're a good shaker maker, I know she would love that. If you want to include some die cuts for her, because we're still waiting to get her a die cutter, y'all. Her die cutter broke during COVID. And so we need to make sure that we finish that arrangement to get it to her, because she's going to need something to keep her mind off all of this. But if you want to send her die cuts, if you got shakers that you could die cut out for her, she would love it. But she also loves lace. She loves everything vintage, everything girly, blingy, lacy. She makes those beautiful bags out of lace. If you've got some lace in your stash, oh, she would love it, y'all. She would love it. But she also loves die cuts. She loves everything. Deb is so open. As I said, she supported me while I had a Maggie Holmes start. And, you know, she's about as far away from Maggie Holmes as possible. And there she was cheering me along, y'all. So anything you send her, she's going to appreciate. But most importantly, please, an uplifting card. She's going to need it. She's going to need our support over the next couple of months and our love. And the best way we can show that to her is by sending her cards. You know she loves to put them up in her apartment. So let's fill her apartment with love and cards. I also thought this was a really good time. My doctor thought it was a good time to remind everybody a little bit about PPE and taking care of COVID. Because we have spikes right across the country. I don't know if you all saw the news last night, but the whole country is red again, which is so sad. I mean, there are areas that are more hot than others, but we don't have one place in America that is a green zone at the moment. So my doctor's like, you know, if you're going to do a video, maybe remind people about PPE and about she knows we have PPE exhaustion. She knows we have cleaning exhaustion, but she's like, do a little reminder so that, you know, she was telling me that even when you're careful, like Carrie was super careful and still contracted COVID. So even being super careful, you can get this illness. But not being careful, it really increases your chances. So I said I would do this video, and I thought it was perfect to do it with Deb's because I want to do a reminder for everybody. All right. We have one bottle of this left. I have to tell you, we can get the fanciest PPE around here that I never even dreamed of in Brooklyn. But actual alcohol is hard to get for us here. Now, I'm saying that to explain something. I do not want anyone to ship me any alcohol because we have fancy PPE here. I do not need it. But what I am going to tell you is this is the cheapest and the best disinfector you can get. It's better than Microban. It's better than Lysol wipes. My doctor says this is the best thing you can get. And it's also the least expensive, y'all. So wipe down your keys, wipe down your front door every day. You know, the knobs you touch on either side. Wipe down, like, for sure your keys. That's a huge contaminant area. Purses, y'all. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to do what's in my bag, and I'm going to show you the purse I'm using, and I'm using it on purpose because it can be disinfected. My doctor says in the best of times, purses are the worst contaminants because we put them on the floor, we touch the handles all the time, and we don't clean them every day. I am deliberately using a purse I can clean every day with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to share that with you in a different video. But this is the cheapest. And in fact, it's not just good for wiping down your doors, your keys, your eyeglasses, anything you use. I'm not wearing any jewelry during COVID because I'm scared. They say that COVID can get trapped underneath rings and watches, and I'm afraid I won't be careful enough. So I'm just not wearing any jewelry out of the house. If you're wearing jewelry out of the house, make sure you're cleaning it, please. But this is also good because in order to extend the life of your masks, if you have medical KN95 masks or anything, and you have to spray them every day. And the cheapest way to do it is to mix this with some water and so maybe some, if you guys have some scented oils, natural scented oils, like, you know how Ebony has peppermint oil, and put it in a little spray bottle we get at the DT and spritz your masks. That's really important. You have to disinfect them. If you can't find this, the next best thing is hydrogen peroxide. And that I know right now is available in most DTs for $1. So I'm just letting you know that. When we first came down here, we couldn't get any of this at all. It's still on a shortage, and again, I'm saying please do not send me any because we have fancy PPE that you can get instead of this. Bath and Body Works carries this, and this is called an antibacterial spray, but really all it is, y'all, is 72% alcohol and scent. So it's overpriced. It's $6.99. If it's not on sale, it's totally not worth it. But at first, when we couldn't get alcohol, I needed this to spray our masks. If you're in a bind, you can get this from Bath & Body Works, and it will work as a spray on your mask, but it's overpriced, y'all. Again, make your own. This is the cheapest way. All right. If you're not allergic to pine like I am, this is one of the cheapest fabric disinfectants you can get, and it's just as effective as the Tide one, and it's way cheaper. It's like $5 or $4 less. Pick this up. When you come in from a busy store like Target or wherever you're going, if you're going out of the house or you go to any kind of appointment, spray yourself down when you come in the house. Spray your clothes on the outside so that you don't bring in any contaminants into your house. Okay, plus it's good for use on your pillows, to disinfect your pillows once a week. That's always good. And it's much less expensive. You get this at Walmart, y'all. It's about $2 and change. Okay. Well, you all know I got this accidental find. We didn't know we got it because we didn't have any aerosol. But look for this because it's less expensive than Lysol and just as effective. So if you can't get Microban or Lysol, this is the next best thing. Look for this on your shelves. All right. Because this is in short supply, they do have these here. It's more money. This costs you more to use than this. This is much cheaper, and this you can't spray on your masks. But if you're in a bind, get these. There's 50 or 80 of these. Make sure, though, it's the right kind of alcohol. The alcohol you're supposed to be using is isopropyl, not the ethanol, the isopropyl. And then that you can use these to wipe down everything from your remote, TV, anything you touch all the time, they want you to keep cleaning. So that's really important to think about, right? Think about all the things you touch all the time, your house keys, your cell phone. That, you know, some people are getting those ionizers for their cell phone to clean them, but you can just wipe your cell phone down with a wipe. Just don't do it too much so you don't wreck your phone. All right. Now, I told you this is available at my DT, and my doctor says this is good for spraying like on the bottom of your slippers in case you accidentally didn't catch all the contaminations. Here's the thing about COVID, y'all. It goes into the air, and my doctor says it falls to the ground. So it takes time. They don't know if it's 2 hours, but it takes time, but it falls to the ground. That means you could walk into your house and have COVID drop on your floor, and if you, like right when you walk in and you don't even know it, and you put your purse down or you put your slippers on, and you think you're being safe, and you accidentally trudge it through your house. So my doctor says it's always good to keep this dollar store disinfectant and just spray the bottom of your slippers just in case. It's an extra precaution. Again, just sharing what I can share, y'all. Just a reminder as we're entering flu season and COVID, you know, another spike of COVID, to take extra care. I know it's extra work. I, of all people, trust me, I know I'm exhausted every day from PPE cleaning. But we got to do it, y'all, to stay safe. So this is a reminder. Again, we want to do as much as we can to support Deb Hendrick. We really want to send her as many cards as we can of love and encouragement. I will fill you in about a week when we have more news to share with you. Just know this situation is serious, and if you're a friend of Deb's, please reach out to her. She needs our love now, more than ever, y'all. And Deb, I love you tons, and I have appreciated you from the day I met you. And I really have. I've appreciated your support and your love, and I'm going to make sure that I'm there for you through this. And I'm hoping many in our community will be there for you. All right, y'all. Wishing you a happy and a super healthy Friday. Bye for now.